we're going to go to Linda Breeden. We're going to be talking about all about potassium iodide and when you should take it. So over to Linda.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for that. I don't know if this is all about potassium iodide, but it's going to be some about it. It's going to be the basic strokes. And
Okay.
the first thing is some definitions. Iodine is a mineral. It's an essential mineral, and it occurs naturally in nature. Iodide is I guess you'd call it a synthetic or a salt that's made synthetically with iodine. It's potassium iodide that is used primarily for preventing the uptake of radioactive iodine into the thyroid. Okay. Now, regular iodine is found in nature, and I'm just going to read a couple of these things here. What iodine does for the thyroid is it allows it to synthesize two thyroid hormones, thyroxine and triiodothyronine. Say that 3 times fast. And without proper iodine, you can develop an enlarged thyroid or a goiter, and you can have neurological impairments and all sorts of fun stuff. Pregnant women who don't have enough iodine can have problems with their children, mentally backwards, stunted mentally and physically. What the potassium iodide does is it actually blocks the thyroid from taking up radioactive iodine. So in other words, if you were to, let's say there's a nuclear disaster or some sort of leak of radioactive materials, those materials then get into the food supply, whether it be the cow's milk, the fish, the vegetables, whatever. And when you eat those things, your thyroid, because it's sort of hungry for iodine, it will take those up right away. But the potassium iodide prevents that. And if you have enough of that in there, you can actually eat the food sources with the radioactive iodine, and the thyroid won't take it up. So I thought that was very interesting. And an example of that was during Chernobyl. The people around the area in Russia ate, the cow's milk and all the stuff from the area, and their thyroids took up all that radioactive material, and they were actually affecting their own bodies that way, and they would affect other people in their area. Whereas Poland gave out iodide, but enough that the people took it and their thyroids didn't take up any radioactive iodine in the area. So basically, natural sources of iodine are fish, shellfish, sea vegetables like seaweed, milk, potatoes, cod, et cetera, et cetera. Adults should not consume more than 1,100 micrograms of iodine per day. This is just this particular article. Potassium iodide does not occur naturally at all. So you can buy a variety of potassium iodide supplements. They range anywhere from about $6 or $7 up to 100 and something. I'm not sure what the differences are, but you want to look at the dosages on there. I found one on the internet that was kind of interesting, and I don't have experience with this. I know, Marcy, you said that you got Iodoral, which is the potassium iodide. I found this potassium iodide anti-radiation tablets, Prepared Patriot, something like that. But they have a little card there that you can actually measure your exposure to radiation and dose appropriately, which I thought that's kind of cool if you can do that, because too much can cause some problems. I would say always have in your medicine cabinet potassium iodide in case of a nuclear problem, because after the fact, you're not going to be able to get it. It's going to be sold out very quickly, or just isn't going to be available, or whatever. So that's one of the essentials that you need. So that's about it.
One thing you can also do is get something like Lugol's iodine, and it's a transdermal thing. You just put a little bit of it on your wrist,
Oh,
and that will build your iodine up in your thyroid to what the body can handle, because it just, if it has enough, then it doesn't go through your skin anymore. So that's the way you can be a little more prepared, and not to say that potassium iodide isn't needed, but you'll have a little more cushion of time if your thyroid is satisfied with the amount of
makes
iodine
sense.
it has.
Awesome. Thank you.
Apparently, the potassium iodide is becoming harder and harder to obtain. If you can find it, get it.
Yeah.
Thanks very much and
You're
appreciate it.
welcome.